This was easily about 8 to 9 years ago. I was working in a call center. We were sort of a middleman between a selection of theme parks and hundreds of hotels that customers could book as a nice package holiday. Now, most people would call up the theme park, think they were talking to the location itself, but actually be talking with a bunch of part-timers in an office nowhere near, depending which brand they called. We'd answer as that brand, and all in all, it was painless. There was a website, but we were there in case of special requirements. Sometimes people didn't want to book online, etc., etc. Now, the parks we support are fairly popular. So much so people do fly in specifically to have holidays there. This means the job was two things. Wonderful for some families. These were the once-in-a-lifetime trips, and you were the person helping them get the holiday they wanted. The other side was pure hell. If the holiday went to shoot, you know full well it's somehow our fault. We had all sorts of calls, people screaming, threatening us, etc. I had a good track record, often closing sizable packages, and always went a little further, sorting out some balloons in the room for little Timmy's birthday, notifying the park to add Tom's birthday alongside the other kids to celebrate his special 45th. Random acts of kindness. I was often told by management to remember to stay in my lane, and while it was nice, I should be on the next call, not emailing the hotel to arrange the unpaid-for bits and bobs. Now, one day, a family called me and I could tell immediately they were posh. They were flying in and were looking for our top options, top hotel, unlimited fast-track tickets, the whole lot. I went in immediately and suggested one of the on-site hotels, asking what favorite characters the kids going had, etc. However, the woman booking heard wonderful things about this alternative hotel. We're talking 5-star, head chef won award for cooking a pigeon, some other pigeons would offer themselves to be next. All fine. Sorted it out, booking came to $12,000. Something threw my discount on there. I pulled all the bells and whistles out. Boss comes over raving. What a deal! What a close. I'll go tell my boss. Wanders off. Hour later, the family calls back. Woman had since Googled the on-site hotel and was stunned at how wonderful it was, as it was for her granddaughter. Could she be a pain and rebook there? Yes, absolutely. I have to cancel the old booking first. The refund can take the usual however many days, and the second booking made immediately. She went, fine, it went through. And red alert. Her Amex is stalled, as 12,000 shots in a short pace caused some issues. I checked out the system, found out it was us blocking it, not her, and had to get a manager to resolve it. I explain, I can't do anything right now to finalize it, but let me call in a favor. I call into the hotel and explain everything. Could they do me a favor and hold the rooms until we get it all hashed out? Yes. You want your usual balloons BS? Their words. Yes, go on then. I log everything in our system, all the conversations, who I spoke to when I went hard, as it was a small holiday here, and go ask my manager. She's fuming, because she's been and bragged to the brass how she's doing well because I closed the sale and suddenly asking her to refund the amount. Yeah, but it's to book it again? The second booking was actually more and we'd end up still better off, but she wobbled about it. Tells me she will do it, but it's end of my shift, so go home. I beg her to call the family she said she would. 2 days after my next shift, I sit down and see that my weekly total is missing the 12,000, but not replaced with the 15,000. I go ask my manager what's happened. Did she speak to them? No, they didn't answer. They'll call back. I asked if I could call them myself. No, get back on the phone. This is not your job. Your job is to answer the phones. I protested. This could be 15,000 we lose. We should chase it. None of your extra BS this time. Go get on the phones. I'm a little pissed off. But there is nothing I can do, so I decide the smart thing to do is log everything new in our system, including what my manager told me, and just answer the phones. 2 days pass, and I get a phone call from the family ask for me to get patched over. They were ready to pay again. Amazing, let's do it. I call the hotel, sort out the package, and all ready to go. The red alert comes up again. My manager hadn't greenlit the payment, however, as the refund had been processed. It was just sat and pending. All my manager had to do was hit a button and the family would get the confirmation email. I speak to my manager, she tells me to F off and to stop bothering her over this. I mark all that in the account on the system and promptly have a week off. I come back in, it's a Sunday night. Slowest shift of the week. Usually, people phoning to tweak a booking, ask what time the park opens, etc. But then one phone call came into a newbie. The screamers are easier to deal with. They come in hot, and you just play kind and calm. They look deranged, and as all calls are recorded, if it needs escalating, you look sane. It's the calm, collected complaints, which are the scariest, and this family's grandma, she's definitely killed people. The poor newbie got this call, and we knew immediately something was up. He nervously asked if I was on a call and if he could patch them over. Sure thing. It's the grandma, and she's not happy. Calm, but not happy. They had flown in at the park's hotel, but as no payment had been received, they weren't allowed to check in. I checked the booking. My manager never processed. They were sat in the lobby, 4 kids, 2 set of parents, and grandma, and nowhere to stay. I call my manager. It was 9 p.m. at night at that point, and she didn't answer. Tried 3 more times and got an email saying it's her night off, don't bother her. Another one logged in the system. I actually then called the hotel front desk, explained I was balloon BS and needed help. The staff there knew me and gave me a break, but they didn't have the power the hotel manager did, got patched to him, explained everything, and he went, okay, here's the deal. We can put the family in the rooms, but we need to charge someone the room. I'm going to charge the company you work for, and you guys can hash it out later? This is where the first malicious compliance piece is that I felt guilty about. I'd done everything by the book, and there was this family stuck stranded in the lobby. And charging the company for them too was just a no-no. Like, lose your job, have them come after you for the money type no-no. So I tried calling every contact I had, but it was 11 or 12 p.m. at night at this point, and no one was answering. So I hit F it. I called the hotel back and told them to do it, knowing full well I'd be job hunting the next day. Logged it and left. Wasn't due in till 10 a.m. but got a call at 30 minutes past 7 a.m. telling me I needed to be there by 8 a.m. I arrive, get frog-marched into a room with 3 levels of bosses in front of me. My manager, her manager, and his manager. They also had a single printout with an invoice for $15,000 from the hotel in my name. They went in on me. 20 minutes of yelling, shouting, one left to get HR in for an immediate dismissal. HR arrived and only asked one question. Can you justify why you comped a $15,000 package? The only thing I could think to say was, check the logs. My manager looked thunderstruck. Her boss looked perplexed, and his boss just looked at my boss with a scowl. And all 3 told me to wait there while they left and HR sat with me. 10 minutes later, I was told to take the day leave, and when I came back the next day, my manager was on the phones like the rest of us. And I was told I'd be reporting to her boss alongside the wider team. Learned 2 things. Do nice things, and people do nice things for you. Also, log everything. Emails, conversations. If you ever feel it wasn't right, make a note and timestamp it for the love of God. Second story. Background. Some backgrounds needed to fill in on some details. Basically, I did my uni degree overseas, just before, during, and after 9/11, so it gives you an idea of roughly how old I am. After graduation, I spent the next 15 years onwards, back home working in IT and tech support. That means I'm no newbie in all things IT and can walk the walk and talk the talk. Now, on to the meat of the story. This incident happened about a short few years before COVID. After 15 years or so working in the IT support frontline, I decided I'd retire from support and corporate IT and work from home, helping in the family business whilst taking care of my kids. As a habit, since I'm trying to run a small side business of repairing computers whilst helping the family, I'll answer any and all phone calls. Only because I'm not familiar with the family business's regular numbers and the nature of my IT consultation and repair business. But especially numbers with an international prefix, which I assume could be from my friends from my uni days. I make an effort to answer the call as fast as possible. Under normal circumstance, robocallers, etc., are all usually using a local telephone number or equivalent, or blocked, unknown, etc. type of number. This company was using an international prefix number, and during the time zones that matched when my friends would reasonably call during their time zones. So, naturally, I'm pissed after working up a hype answering, thinking it's my friends, when it's all about investment opportunities I'm not interested in. It's quite a few times I hang up on these guys after more than 20 seconds due to long-distance time delay in the call as well as me trying to get to grips with the accent. But then one day, the stars and the moons aligned, the kids are busy outside playing with the wife, and I'm quietly in my office, and seeing their number, have an axe to grind with no disturbances. Let's play. This is not an exact wording, but the gist of the conversation that I can recall as best to my knowledge. And my dang phone recording software decided to not work that time. Hello? Hello, Mr. Anonymous. I'm caller from company, and we have a great business investment opportunity for you. Sorry, could you repeat that? All right, Mr. A, we'd like to talk about yada 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 from company yada yada yada. Oh, hold on. You're from which company again? Oh, we're from company yada yada yada. Hold on. I can't find your company on file. Secretary, do we have company on file? My wife shouts back something, but enough for the voice to be heard over the phone. Nope, we don't have you on file. Listen, you're calling from the country, right? So this being an international call, the price will be $75 equivalent for tech support and all. Look, I'm calling about a business investment. Yeah, hold on. So it's after our office hours here, we have to charge you the premium support call rate. It's about $150 for us to support you. But if you'd like, we can get in touch with one of our local techs near your location for the price of $100 instead. And I'm not calling for tech support, I'm calling about a business investment. Oh, right. If you want a business contract with us, it'll be about $300 per month for 6 technical support service calls. Hey, I'm not calling about tech support. Well, in that case, this is a chargeable technical service call in line. Since it's your first time and you don't have a contract with us, it's $50 per call service charge. So I charge to company under caller's name, right? I forgot what he said here, but I think he's lost already with where the conversation is going. Tell you what, just let me talk to your accounts department team and I'll discuss the payment with them. Can you call or put them through? Don't worry, you won't get charged for this call. We're not paying and charging you. Or something along those lines. But I need to talk to your accounts department for payment for this support call. Can you get them on the line, please? Bye. Next thing I know, I realize I find myself sitting in front of my computer, staring at the screen. I was so into character about getting into support that by habit, I turned on all my remote support softwares. You know it, TeamViewer, LogMeIn, VNC, RDP, etc. I was even logged into my PayPal business account ready to write up an invoice to keep track of the service charges. Ever since this incident, I haven't received any more calls from any international robo-business investment callers. It took a while, but the local ones also slowly learned to remove me from their call lists when they realized I'm charging for tech support calls. And I try and make it a habit to every time answer any unknown caller with, "Hi, this is Name Technical Support." Only some of the banks are persistent, but the rest have almost died down. Last story. Well, it finally happened. Eventually, she'll be leaving for good. Evil Mama Bear recently made another post on Facebook telling everybody that she hates us all for ruining her life and that she wishes we'd all go to hell for it, but no longer cares because hell is too good for the likes of us. She's apparently gonna sell her house so she can move back to her parents' old family property in Texas that they left her when they passed 20 years ago. She can't leave just yet though because things aren't settled with the courts over her attempt to attack future brother-in-law and their impending restraining order against Evil Mama Bear. She's still having an enormous pity party online about how the family is supposed to have her back because blood is thicker than water, but they all just savaged her, especially when she tried to blame this all on me again. It's basically come down to her saying that she wished I'd never been born because I'm a devil incarnate and the source of all her problems. Apparently, I ruined her marriage, her job, her relationships with family, etc., and am the Judas that took her little princess away. That just got her laughed at. And I mean really laughed at. Even my sister thought it was funny. That made Evil Mama Bear throw an online tantrum and said she hates us all and will be shutting down her Facebook down soon because she can't take being abused any longer. That caused a huge backlash as they all called her out as the abuser and started quoting things they remembered. So many relatives did this that Evil Mama Bear just didn't respond to them. My sister even joined in and told Evil Mama Bear on Facebook that all she is doing is projecting her own faults onto me because she doesn't want to deal with the consequences of her own actions. Apparently, sister's therapist told her that. Then, my sister went on to list numerous things that definitely were Evil Mama Bear's fault, and that of course made my mother go into more denial. But she had no real answers on how said things were my fault. Then my sister asked her how it was that I'd go to hell and not her, with all of the particular things she's done. Evil Mama Bear didn't respond for a few minutes, then just said we were all backing her into a corner to pick on her, and she was gonna go cry, then logged off. Her Facebook has been seemingly dead since then. Either way, there's pretty much nothing my mother can do to regain any semblance of her old reputation, or what little of it there was to begin with, since most people who knew her didn't like her at all. She was outed as a racist, made a social pariah, arrested twice, and fired from her job. On top of that, all her neighbors hate her and have for decades, all because she's a narcissistic bee. She has no friends and no family left to fall back on, so there isn't much left keeping her here anymore. The house my mother owns and currently lives in is a nice vintage one that's in great condition thanks to remodeling by my father when I was a little kid. So I doubt it will take very long for it to sell once it's listed. Meanwhile, my girlfriend, sister, future brother-in-law, and myself all went out to the same diner we unveiled the pregnancy DNA test results in and had a good dinner and some laughs. Got me a chicken fried steak. Since I've still got the restraining order up and cameras at my house, business, cars, and my sister's apartment, I doubt my mother will bother trying to pay either of us a visit again. At this point, she's already in enough trouble with the law, and I doubt she wants to do anything that'll risk her getting arrested again because I know that's one of the things she's really afraid of. But I'm gonna keep my guard up. We are all well prepared with cameras, we go places in pairs, we have tasers, pocket knives, pepper spray, and phone tracer apps. And we've gotten the word out on Evil Mama Bear anywhere we could. A commenter suggested a while back that I should send my mother an anonymous package full of Limburger cheese, and I'm actually really tempted to do that once Evil Mama Bear has moved back to Texas, since I still have the address of her parents' old property from my dad's list of contacts from back in the day. It would be one last nice bit of petty payback for all the misery she put us through.